Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fun show here. We got a new exciting guest on the scene. Again, for anyone who has not seen me, I'm Marcy. I'm the CEO and founder of Electric Blue Communications and LovEvolve Music. And tonight I have Amanda with Beyond Belief Leadership Academy, who is one of our first partners with Electric Blue. And so we just want to kind of bring it to you live, tell you a little bit more about what we're actually doing behind the scenes. We've got a bunch of amazing people on this team who are sharing all kinds of insights in life. And tonight, we're actually showing you how we're expanding a little bit beyond that. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Amanda to introduce herself, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Thanks, Marcy. My name is Amanda. I'm the founder of Beyond Belief Leadership Academy. It is an incubator for visionaries who are looking to increase their confidence, shed old beliefs, and step into their power and basically live a thriving life doing exactly what they love. So that's what I'm doing. And Marcy invited me to her lovely home so I could learn more about what she's doing and how we can collaborate together. So I'm excited for where we're headed and what's going on. And there's been new clarity coming every day, it seems.
Obviously, yes. So amazingly, just a little background story, but there's a show called The Blocks, and it's a show for entrepreneurs. And from what I've gathered, they take about 10,000 people and they narrow it down to 95 people or companies, and you can bring a partner, all that, but they narrow it down. And from that, you get to go attend this week-long kind of what might feel like a reality TV show, or I guess more of a documentary style business accelerator course. It was not at all what I expected, even from watching episodes of it. But we met the very first night, sitting down at a table for dinner, and still not knowing what we were in for. And we were never paired with the same teams or groups throughout the week, but we had a connection that night, and we knew there was something bigger. And it's amazing how we're spiritually led or led by source to make the connections that we need to make, not necessarily that we're planning to make. And I just wanted to get through the week and be able to tell people my story and get better at crafting how I tell it. But this woman right here was rocking a parallel story to me. And I'm here tonight to share a little bit more about that and our connection, how this all worked out. So maybe you can talk about a little bit about how what you've been working on in parallel to Electric Blue and LovEvolve, and how you ended up heading to the Blocks and heading to North Carolina from California, all the way from California, in a car.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try that quickly. So I have been on a journey of self-discovery for, quite a while now. And most of my life, I have led it pretty authentically and outside of the box. I've never had a 9-to-5. I've always worked odd jobs, bartending, being a musician, booking venues, various things. And so truly a big passion of mine is being an entrepreneur. And I love to bring out the passion in people and watch them light up about something that they love. And very few people get to do what they love for a living. And so in this new age that we are living in, I believe that everyone has a unique purpose and a unique gift that they have, are meant to bring out into the world. And so I love to tease that out of them and,
Nice.
and really help shed beliefs that hold us back from being who we are meant to be. Because I know so many people who are like, that's nice for you, but I couldn't do that.
Right.
And in reality, we all can do whatever we want to do. And so that's part of what Beyond Belief is about, is it's beyond the beliefs that you've put in your own head and coming back to the truth of who you are and shining in a spotlight that allows you to really thrive. And so I think with Electric Blue being all about music and inspiration and so much more, opening people up on a spiritual level, literally awakening people, there's this bridge. We're building so many bridges.
Yes.
But this bridge between us, where it's taking that awakening that Marcy really instills and sparks in people, and then supporting its growth and allowing it to mature and allowing you to really sink into what that means for you now. And most of us can't live the same life after we've had an awakening. So, but what kind of life can you live? And that's what Beyond Belief offers. So, yeah.
And so the group that you guys are used to from this whole entourage of 7 that we have, they all have experienced the music. They've all felt something from it. They had their own awakening journeys. And the biggest thing I've gathered is like, we are never like up or down from someone else. We are on our unique journeys. And it's really hard to think about that. And me as a leader of this team just meant that I was going to go ahead and test the waters first. Not that I'm meant to lead all of these people, but I am actually testing the waters for a bunch of leaders. And that once those leaders were stepping into their roles, which this team absolutely is, I get to now partner with other people that are trying to inspire leaders. And what Amanda brings to the table is that she is actually helping people that get over that confidence hump, that thing that like you just can't possibly believe in yourself, that, yeah, I'm awakened. I get this, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how I can actually direct other people. This is where this partnership is amazing. And meeting her was like absolutely, seriously, the most synchronous moment that I went on to this show, knowing it is for entrepreneurs, which I already know everyone there is trying to escape the matrix, but that does not mean they're spiritual. That does not mean that they believe in the things I believe in. And I had to put myself out there to share the story of LovEvolve, Electric Blue, all of that. And we'll continue to get into more details of that. But her sitting at the table was one of those synchronicities. And I've learned to live in the now. And I believe 100% in being guided by synchronicities, not recklessly, carelessly, where you forget the day to day, because this is about balance. But this is where she and I coming together are actually helping each other and helping this team get with that balance. So,
yes, it's true. And I want to just speak to like, I originally got onto the blocks for Shake and Shine, which is a wellness event. And I switched it on them.
They're always switching us up, man. If you stay committed to what you believe in, that doesn't mean stay committed to your idea. That means be open to your idea changing. That will support the belief that you have. And if you hold on to whatever you think was the way to make it happen, you're not actually following your belief. And that's something that we're learning still. We always are, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's coming to me is trust, right? Like so much about this is trust and trusting the process and trusting that we're exactly where we're meant to be at any given moment. And I became a nomad on January of this year and had no idea why. I had already bought a plane ticket to the blocks, but I ended up driving there and met Marcy, and she invited me to her home, and I was able to come here because I was already living that lifestyle. So it's
meanwhile, we were in Tulsa. I mean, she had just come from California. I was like, just keep going all the way to the other coast. And she actually did it. If that's not
trust,
I don't know what is, but yes.
Yes. So I'm so excited for what's coming and what's ahead, and for all of you to be watching it all unfold.
So do you want to tell them just a little bit about some of the values and principles you have within helping people, not just support them, where we're trying to kind of bring them in? They might awaken. It might be like intense. My music may be intense more than people expect, or I even expected. And we want to provide that community, but like, what is it that you do to help bring them to the next level?
Yeah. So authenticity is big for me. Like it's one of my prime values. And so I think what an awakening does is remind you that you've been living a lie, and that most of this reality that we call the real world isn't real. It's an illusion that we've created and something based on what everyone else has told you to do. And so Beyond Belief is helping like rewrite the script that you were given this whole time and remind you that you are someone probably very different than who you think you are. And again, the awakening that reminds you of who you are meant to be, but then how do you step into that? And so Beyond Belief helps cradle and nurture that while having the community, while having the support of other people going through that. And then moving you into creativity. So tapping back into like what your gifts are, which Electric Blue also helps you unlock. And then from there you move into thriving. So how to take that creative spark and make it something prosperous so that you can light up every day of your life.
I have a question for you. What about the people that probably think we're already talking over their head? Like, you're already awakened and now you can go into this leadership thing. Like, what is it for you, like, that you can do to relate to people who are questioning some of this awakening journey? And this may sound woo woo or ridiculous to people. Like, what are your thoughts about, like, maybe sharing a little bit about your backstory and how you kind of transitioned this into things that can help people remain open to things that are beyond not their belief, maybe their belief, but maybe just their imagination, what they've been blocked in on, all that.
Yeah. So what comes to me is a lot of us are seeking freedom. A lot of us are seeking to feel like we are in control of our life and in every aspect of it. And I think many of us feel out of control and try to find ways to feel in control, whether that's the right relationship, the right job, the right home, all the things. And so there's, I think what we are speaking to is, and what's the people that are like hearing this and not really sure, but I want you to listen to the spark, the feeling, the something that comes up in your body and in your loins or in your belly. Like, as you start hearing these words of freedom and authenticity and leadership and creativity, like, if that sparks something to you, then you're already on the path. And if that sparks nothing in you, there's a seed being put in right now.
I think there's the biggest category, I believe, that might be happening right now is like, it sort of does, but it's scary. People fear it. When you even brought up, like, in your stomach, like anxiety, like a lot of us that are being called to do something bigger right now have intense anxiety. I have lived with anxiety my entire life. And let me just tell you, since I finally adopted a new way of thinking and I went outside of my norm, I had the corporate job. I've had all these things that lined up perfectly for me. And then they weren't taken away. They were removed so that I could fill them with something more purposeful, where I'm finding my inner child on levels that I have never, ever believed I could since I was a child. And so what are your thoughts on, like, the people who have this fear? They're kind of interested, but they're like, this is just too much. Like, it's too far away. Because sometimes we can talk as experts on any field, any experience, and people would love to fantasize about it, but how do we bridge that gap on letting them know it's achievable, those first steps?
Yeah, well, I think about what I tell my clients is 1% improvement a day. So pick something in your life that you want to work on, something about you that you want to better. Most of us know what to do, we just don't do it. So that's a huge thing with coaching is really, you know what you want. Usually you know the goals, but it's just the getting there. And so, honestly, for me, it's a small, just slight shift. So it might be like waking up the first time your alarm goes off and going to stand in the sun.
Snoozes, admit this. Now I wake up before my alarm and I'm pissed off. But anyway, yeah.
Yes. But like finding things that support you, like habits that will make you feel better, even if everything else in your world is chaotic. So like, if you know that waking up early and moving your body right away really works for you, but you can't seem to find the time, try it for a few days. Try just getting up, move your body for 5 minutes. So like, I think what scares us is that everything has to change all at once.
Absolutely.
And it's overwhelming to think of like, oh my God, where is this leading? Who am I going to be? Might be friends. I'm going to lose my family. Just come back to now.
Stacks on stacks on stacks. Like,
yes.
Here's the thing. The second you tell yourself you can't do this one thing or you don't have time for it, then another thing keeps going, because life keeps going whether you keep going or not. And so you'll get this next warning, this next message, or this next thing that even tax bills, dealing with like filling your tank up, whatever it is. It's just that suddenly now you have this and this and this. And it's a lot harder to even tackle that last thing because you're already going back to the thing that's buried underneath. And this is a huge one for all of us. And so realizing that even if you have that pile buried up that you haven't dealt with, that you can just tackle and chisel away a little bit at a time. This 1% rule is great, but it's the thing that I've learned is that you've got to prioritize on your list, on all the things that you have going on. Stop comparing them as equal or stacked and put them side by side. Stop stacking them. Put them all side by side and think about the thing that's going to make the most impact for you to deal with. And it may be the third thing you buried down, it may be the first thing you buried down, or maybe it's the top thing, but you're just stacking. And if we just take that stack and turn it sideways, then you can prioritize, and let's change the order and then turn it this way and make this the first priority order. And you're going to have at least something to start with. And again, even if you have a big box to unpackage, take 5 things out of the box a day. And then in 5 days, you've taken the whole box out. It's all empty. Like, it's just one of those things that little baby steps. But we convince ourselves it's too much to handle. And then we could wait those 5 days and not have done anything. Action means everything in this journey. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's fucking hard, but it means everything.
It does. And I heard you say so many beautiful things, and prioritize was one of them. So like, know your priorities, which seems obvious, but like, really, what are your priorities? Because we follow our priorities. And so if your priority is work, guess what? You're a workaholic, and that's what you're doing. If your priority is you, then the list looks different. You know, I always say we have it backwards. We say, I'll take care of myself after the long list is done. What if you were number 1 on the list and you took care of you first and everything came from there, right? And so that priority was one of them, and just like small, manageable steps. Like, small steps lead to where you want to go, or small hinges swing big doors is something we use in my coaching world. But like, that's beautiful. Like, just take one action. One teeny thing a day, and just keep staying in action, because it's so much harder to move when you're stuck. Momentum comes from movement, right? And so, and honestly, anxiety is something we are all struggling with, and that could be a whole topic I'd love to talk about one day.
100%. We'll get there, because
this is part of dealing with that. Taking manageable action steps and not allowing yourself to feel the overwhelm all the time. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when she's mentioning 1%, I mean, we can call these all different things, and people speak in different languages. So if something that we're ever saying on this video doesn't make sense, please feel free to reach out. Don't assume anything. Ask us, because the hardest part is, even with the English language, we have different words that are spelled the same way, or different apostrophes that go in different ways. It's so hard to actually communicate with words. And so a lot of this is us helping step into our own intuition, where we don't need that level of words, or we're not applying our own emotions to words. But when she's saying 1%, think about like 3 things you want to quit. Let's just say that you are a people pleaser, you drink too much, and you talk too much, okay? You feel like you need to quit all those things at once. You need to change all those things at once. If you just keep listening to them and looping them together, you're never going to change any of them. So let's start with the easiest one. Priority is not necessarily what priority is on the society that we're in. It's about a priority for like your mental health. So if the people pleaser thing is the thing that's causing you to drink, and then that's the thing that's causing, like, you've got to look at cause and effect. And instead of thinking you're going to quit it all, keep having a drink every day and say, I am no longer going to respond to people this way for 3 days before I move on to the next thing. Don't beat yourself up that you are facing problems and you need to take care of all of them, because the more we list everything off, the less likely we are to succeed at doing anything. So priority is not just about the way society views it, but about what's going to help your mental health. And that's huge, huge.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I feel like that's a great place to start.
So we've taken up a lot of time tonight, but this is hopefully a new transition. This group with Electric Blue is going to continue to evolve, because we're associated with LovEvolve Music, which I've come up with, the name, but there's a bigger meaning behind it. It's the fact that with love, we have to evolve. Mm-hmm. And if God or source is anything, it's love. And without love, it's nothing. And we have to have space that we hold for ourselves and for other people. And all that we're here today to share with you is that this is going to continue to evolve. What you see in this channel is going to continue to evolve, because we want to hear from you. What is it your problems are? What are the things that you would like to hear from us? Because we've got a panel of experts here, and we do plan on doing some webinars and bigger events where we start to bring everyone in. But we're never just going to be a single person with a single perspective that you follow. And that's great. I mean, that's great. There's tons of people that are amazing out there. But what we're here to do is keep bringing more and more people into the fold and bringing different perspectives, because we're all puzzle pieces. And I really appreciate everyone's time tonight on this video, because I know it's a little longer than normal, but we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep doing things differently. And we want your input. We want you to help us build this empire of love. So if you have any input, again, comments below. If you have any thoughts, any questions, you can reach out, because Electric Blue is here for you. And I want to just thank Amanda so much for being here and being this next extension for the growth that we continue to have. And so, Amanda, if you have anything to say.
Thank you so much, Marcy. I am so appreciative of you and your spirit and your openness and everything you're building and creating. Like, y'all aren't even ready. It's exciting. So thank you so much.
But you know what? We're going to be the ones having fun. So you want to join this movement? Welcome. It's going to be fun. Come take a color plunge in the pool. We're here. But thank you guys all so much for your time tonight. And I just want you to know, again, Electric Blue is here for you. And that's not just a cheesy catchphrase. This is real, true love. We're stupid people. We're humans. We're being real. And we want you to be real with us. So thank you.